Hello, and welcome to another update video about Solana. So yeah, I added now the ABC structure there to the chart in white, which would show you the roadmap for the pathway into the lower support region there, which is between $34.40 and $49.50, with, I would say, ideal targets around $40, but we'll see how this correction subdivides. More important than understanding the micro count is where the actual support is. So the market has reacted, or Solana has reacted again to our support area. Anybody who watched for potentially a long trade here could have had a small nice scalp, but I can tell you that the move up looks very, very, very corrective. So just be on the side of caution here. It's forming a potentially corrective rally here to the upside, which Bitcoin is doing as well, Ether doing as well, so they might all get another low. Also Solana might get another low, okay? So there are, again, still, and we only want to focus on the short term, there are really still just two scenarios. And of course, if you dive into each in more detail, there will always be different pathways on different time frames, but we need to keep it manageable. First of all, it is still possible in this third wave, the price extends higher, more directly in the yellow wave count. In this wave count, we completed a 1-2 setup. Then this would now be a third wave. I can tell you that is getting less likely with the choppy structure we've seen here, unless it's trying to form some kind of a diagonal in the first wave of the third wave. But it is still technically possible, as long as we're holding the Friday low, which was at $54.20 roughly. As long as that's the case, we can look at a third wave rally, fourth wave and fifth wave, reaching our next Fibonacci levels at $71.20, $79.30, and maybe even $93. So this is, of course, a very optimistic perspective and only valid as long as the Friday low is holding. What happens if we break below the Friday low, which might happen looking at this price structure, this microstructure? Well, if we break below that level, then it would certainly increase the probabilities that the larger degree wave 4 pullback that we've been discussing over recent days, that this is already unfolding and that we get into this larger support area. That pullback is due, not necessarily overdue, but it's due. So it can still extend higher in the short term, but it needs to hold the micro support levels. If we break below those micro support levels and if we start to break them, those are all additional signals that the pathway to the downside has started. And this is a corrective rally. So, I mean, there's everything currently there to suggest we might come down. It's just literally that we haven't broken micro support yet. And a break below that last swing low would add to that perspective. There is only then one more way how it can still extend higher in the third wave. That would be as long as it's holding $49.40. Why is that the case? It's because this wave 4, which presumably finished on Tuesday, could simply be reset. This could be some kind of a weird, flat structure. But I can tell you that below $54.20, so below the Friday low, an extension higher will get less likely. There is still, from an objective point of view, it needs to break this micro support region. There are basically two micro support levels left, $54 and, well, actually the 78.6 fib level, but we talk about the Friday low because it was made there at $54.20 and then $49.40. And if we see an impulsive move down below, and that would be the C wave, below support, then we're likely in this larger degree fourth wave. That larger box might then provide potentially an interesting entry point for a rally in the fifth wave. Yeah. So that's sort of at the moment what I'm observing. The structure there is not yet very suggestive that we get another extension. In both scenarios, however, regardless of if we get an extension in wave 3 from here or not, in both scenarios, I would still like to see the price reach those extension levels either in wave 3 or in wave 5. So we are generally still bullish, bullish. We are observing here a short-term bullish structure as long as the $34 level is holding. So this is the potential for it to drop down in a fourth wave. It doesn't mean it has to come down that much, but if we get a move down and then move higher, that would be the suggestion for the fifth wave to be unfolding into the region, 71.20, 79.50, $93. So in both scenarios, bullish. I think it's reasonable to take some partial profits here. Maybe hold a core. That's entirely up to you how you do that. And then maybe to scale in, or I don't know, run a grid bot in here, start it again, for a fifth wave to the upside. There are just different ways how this can be played. But as soon as we break below $34, then we have to assume that a more lasting top is in place, and we might even revisit bear market lows. But that's nothing I'm primarily watching for, as long as we're holding that $34.40 level, which is the 50% retracement level. So at the moment, not really anything new to add, but I know everybody wants to be kept up to date. The levels haven't changed at all, so focus on the levels. The downside risk is definitely there, but we know that it can still extend higher. But I think it's reasonable to expect a pullback. It's just that as long as the $49.40 level is still holding, it could still easily extend higher in the third wave. But it's just that as long as the $49.40 level is holding, it can still extend in its third wave. So if it extends from here, we count it as part of the third wave. Fourth wave would happen a bit later, then the fifth wave even later. If we come down now, it's already the fourth wave, and then we should get the fifth wave just after that. So that should be actually quite clear. I don't think there is any more clarity you can get out of this chart. I think you all know the chart so well. We've squeezed every little bit of clarity out of this chart that we can. And now it's literally just watching those levels. And I think we should get some clarity in the next few days. That's my update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Today, we've got our member live stream at 5 p.m. UTC. If you're interested in joining, check out the membership. We cover risk management and money management as topic. And also we cover some member requests that we collected throughout the week. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links in the video description. There's additional content there every single day about trading, technical analysis, mindset, Elliott wave, and so on. Thanks a lot. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.